Oh, let's get this done before. Hi. 3, 2, 1.
Hey bro, I'm the plastic.
Bro, let him.
I swear to God, I'll have to start doing meditation because of this man.
Oh,
I'll kill someone. He's lagging again! What is
Bro,
this
my
life?
mom will throw me out. I'm telling you, just start. Leave him.
Look at him!
Why?
He went.
He came back! Show that, even Everton, despite being in such good form, can be hit by injury crisis. I mean,
yeah, guys.
Why does he do that?
why do you open your mouth? Why? You can see
Yeah,
that
but-
we're talking. You can see that we're making a point. You can
I
hear
thought
us.
you were talking casually.
No way. What
Bro,
do you
I
think
didn't
we'll wait
hear
for you?
anything.
Okay,
Hey, we are
okay,
kidding.
continue.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pretentious Pundits, a podcast where we discuss all things football and pretend to know what we're talking about. Do you see what I see, Shashik?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you?
lucky fellows.
Yes.
Not everyone is rich like you guys.
Shut
No,
up.
so
The new kit.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks to Shashik's friends for procuring this for us. Regardless, we're back with another episode of the EPL review, and we're going to be doing the review of Game Week 6 and lots of interesting games. And again, VAR at its best. I don't know what to say. It's just become a part of the sport now, in England at least. Shitty VAR
referees
decisions.
and VARs are at their best right now. All of them are drunk, I'm telling you. They're
Class.
drunk and they're doing their job.
Regardless, I think let's crack on with the first fixture, that is Aston Villa versus Leeds, and I don't think any of us saw this coming. Last week, I was blaming Leeds for not scoring
Oh
enough goals.
my god.
I swear to God, last week we're all I was blaming Leeds for not scoring enough goals, and they just go ahead
Exactly.
and score 3 against Aston Villa, who have probably been in the best form they ever have been. And literally, like, Aston Villa got shat upon by Patrick Bamford, a man who was touted to be one of the best players back in the day, but his career never really came to
Kicked
anything
off.
until now.
Yeah.
Man is on 6 goals right now in the PL. He's on par with Salah right now on goals.
Hmm. Yes.
Anyways, so yeah, very exciting fixture, and I feel like Aston Villa have finally been given a wake-up call to lose 3-0 at home after putting up such phenomenal displays. I mean, obviously there was a 7-2 victory against us, and they've also been like really confident and unbeaten so far. And then to go ahead and lose 3-0 at home to Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds. And no offense to Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds, they obviously played brilliantly, and Bamford clearly coming out on top because the hat trick, obviously. I mean, people weren't really expecting anything from Bamford. They were writing him off because of the signing of Rodrigo, but I'm surprised it's gone the other way, that Bamford is the one taking up the mantle and not Rodrigo.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this game. It was really well fought, but Leeds United clearly much the better side. And coming back to the next fixture, West Ham versus Man City. The game kicked off when me and Yasser were doing the preview episode. So yeah, Yasser, what's your opinion on Man City versus West Ham? I mean, clearly this was an easy victory for Man City, is what we thought it was going to be. At least that's what we said in the preview until this happened.
Yeah, West Ham, they were really good, I think, in the last 3 games. They got results which we didn't see them getting. We saw them in a really bad place in the league with their team. But they have also signed Ben Harma, who hasn't come into the team yet.
Mhm.
And Antonio, he looks brilliant as striker. No one saw this coming. It's crazy how well he's doing at striker, and that goal as well, that overhead.
Too good.
It's crazy. We saw City, I think, just walking this game, because
Yeah.
of their depth.
Mhm.
Even though they had De Bruyne injured, but he came on as a sub, but he couldn't do anything. I think Sterling I think he's been
Broke
missing.
many hearts.
He's been
Sterling broke
missing
many
so many
hearts.
chances,
Yeah.
so many one-on-ones.
Easy
Pep
ones
might
that
be
too.
frustrated. Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know. They have to City are in a really bad place right now. They have to pick up as soon as possible if they want to challenge
You know,
for the
after
title.
like after spending almost 400 million, I think, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong,
on defenders.
defending like only on defense, they're still doing so bad. It's serious. It's not nice.
But
It's not justice done.
this is probably
And
only ever gonna happen once in my entire lifetime.
yeah,
For the
maybe.
first time, I'm probably gonna try and defend City here. So grab your popcorns, guys. Anyways, I feel like nobody really talked about it a lot, but I think that was a handball from Souček. Souček was
In the
it?
build-up, yeah.
In the
In the
build-up,
build-up,
I
yeah.
don't.
that was a clear handball from Souček, and it's not like the rules have been made really clear. If there is any contact with the hand and it results in a goal, should be chalked off. Those are
I think the
real rules.
linesman was really close to the ball as
Yeah,
well.
I
think
don't know how he didn't call it.
That's what. No, like referees and VAR people who are operating everything, they all are drunk. That's it. They don't know how to make the correct decision when it's required.
I mean, yeah, City probably feel
So
robbed at
many
this point.
examples.
Yeah, City probably feel robbed at this point, but yeah, they kind of were. That shouldn't have been given as a goal because handball, and according to the new rules, you can't. That goal just can't be allowed. And it was a huge
But,
talking point. And
Yeah, but I feel like with the team that City has,
yeah, they were very underwhelming.
scoring only one goal against a side like West Ham, who've been struggling
Exactly.
since a long time, is not something great to see, and it's something that has to change for City because they have the Champions League to focus on, not
Yeah.
only the Premier League.
Exactly.
So we have to see what Guardiola is going to do for the Champions League fixture coming up.
Probably, yeah. Like, and I also feel like West Ham wasted a lot of counter-attacking opportunities.
Yeah.
Antonio, like, brilliant goal, but his ball control is equivalent to that of a donkey. The man just can't
Lukaku.
he can't control the ball. He just doesn't have a good first touch. He's messed up so many counter-attacking opportunities. And to be very honest, City, who rely on possession so much, despite having a massive chunk of possession, I think 68% nearly, they still weren't able to capitalize. I mean, chances did come. Sterling had 2, couldn't score. Mahrez had a few, should have squared it to Sterling, didn't do it. And Foden, guys, what a substitution and what a goal.
Amazing game. I mean, he had an amazing game.
he did.
I think he came on just to find those space in between.
Exactly.
He
That's
found
exactly
that
what he
space.
did.
And exactly, he got a goal. So brilliant for Foden, but for City, I don't know where they go from here.
And De
Yeah.
Bruyne
I see,
as well.
Carry on.
Yeah, it happened.
It's happened again. It's happened again.
Sirish's father has walked in again.
You say walked in like God knows what I'm doing.
This has to go.
No, come in. Come in. It's fine. You're not gonna be in the frame.
Then why you should not react. No, you continue with your
I'm just kidding. I tricked you into walking into the frame. Now leave.
Holy, oh, bro.
Yeah.
Siblings.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And you were stuck in.
And De Bruyne as well, coming off of the bench, he played a decent game. You know, he made a few of those signature De Bruyne passes, but didn't really account for much of the game. But yeah, regardless.
And another problem which I think City is facing, strikers. Like Aguero is getting old. They should find a replacement for him. And they're telling like they're out of funds to buy another striker. I think I read it in Twitter or something like Guardiola said like we are out of funds. We cannot afford a striker now anymore.
That's
Something
exactly
like
what
that.
Guardiola said before the beginning of this transfer window.
City are out of funds. How can you say City are out of funds? That doesn't
Exactly.
even
Yeah, that's
City
all.
are
That's what I
never
meant.
out of funds.
They're never out of funds.
Buddy, it's City, not us. We know what poverty is. City doesn't know what poverty is. That concept doesn't exist to them. It's just a fiction.
But that's another big problem they are facing, I feel.
Yeah, strikers
That
basically
should
both
be
their
also
first choice
sorted out.
strikers injured. Gabriel Jesus and I mean Aguero's come back from injury, but again
He got
didn't
injured
play well.
again.
Yeah,
He got injured again.
He got injured
Yeah,
again.
that's all. It's very
pretty
scary.
sad. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Regardless, let's quickly move on to Crystal Palace versus Fulham, and yet again Crystal Palace showing brilliant, like showing their class. And
Yes.
you know, again, Michi Batshuayi, what are you doing, man? Like, are you in the wrong sport? The football pitch is in a diving board. Not every time somebody touches you, you have to fall down to the ground and pretend like you're dying.
Yeah, against Brighton, he did the same as well.
Yeah,
The
he did
exact
the
same.
same.
But Zaha, what a brilliant goal! Put the body online.
Yeah.
He pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
hit
yeah.
his knee onto the frame of the goal once he scored that.
But I feel like Fulham dominated the game. I mean, in terms of shots on the goal, Fulham had 16, if I'm not wrong. But only 3 of them were on target. So,
yeah.
again, the problems were Fulham are unable to get into the scoring opportunities and, finish it and get the goals. That's one of the problems that they're facing. And, I mean, Mitrovic I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he is.
Oh, I don't know what. Yeah, exactly.
And
He's
the
been-
Kamara red card.
Yeah,
And the
that.
Kamara red card.
Yeah.
I think it was stupid. He
was-
stepped on the
yeah.
player from
It's
behind.
very stupid.
Yeah,
I
very
feel all the decisions taken in like previous 2 game weeks was stupid. Majority of them. I won't say all the decisions. Majority of them. Like in this
Yeah,
game
even in the
and the previous
preview,
game.
Yeah.
even in the preview, we spoke about Fulham versus Crystal Palace. We knew Fulham would have majority of the possession and Crystal Palace would hit them on the counter, and that's what
exactly.
exactly happened.
That happened,
It's
yeah.
pretty much Crystal Palace when they do not like possession. They're just not creative enough to do something with the possession. They like to hit teams on counter. That's their
And they do it
game
well.
plan.
And
They
they
do
do
it
it
pretty well. Yeah.
And they do it brilliantly. And yeah, that's pretty much summing up the game. The Kamara red card and the 2 brilliant goals
And Kearney's goal as well
Kearney's
from
goal.
distance.
It was brilliant, but all I would say is a little too late.
Yeah.
Too little, too late. Like should have showed that kind of form. Should have taken those shots before instead of skying them. Should have taken those on-target shots before. But regardless, what a brilliant screamer. And coming to the fixture of the game week, and I can already see a very disappointed Chelsea fan down there, and the Man U fan for us
Frustrating,
couldn't
man.
join us. But regardless, I'm pretty sure he would be disappointed in this result as well. Yasir, what is your opinion on the 0-0 draw? What were you like? You predicted a 3-2 win for Chelsea, and I predicted a 2-2 draw. if I'm
I
not
feel
wrong.
like it was one word: frustrating. That's it.
Exactly. Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fatigue. It was the rain. I think both played a part.
Yeah.
The rain. I think teams were very cautious in the way they played. They sat back. Chelsea obviously went with 3 back because of defensive issues.
Mhm.
And United had been in great form with the PSG win and the Newcastle win.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The thing is, I'm really happy about the clean sheet because this is our second clean sheet against a really good team with Sevilla
Mendy.
and Chelsea. And
Mendy.
Mendy as well. 3 huge
Brilliant
saves. I think
Brilliant saves.
Brilliant.
two huge saves. And finally we have a keeper in goal.
Mhm. What did you have before? Just out of
I don't know.
curiosity. What did you have before?
I don't know.
No, we have no one. I don't think we have
Amazing.
anyone in goal.
Carriers
Yeah.
region. Carriers region.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to call him.
Counterpart carriers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Counterfeit carriers.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
but Chelsea, lacked the final ball as well.
Yeah.
I could see fatigue in the team. I think hopefully in the Champions League, they rest a few players and then we can kick on the
Yeah.
Premier League again.
But Chelsea were also unlucky with the penalty decision.
Oh,
Again.
yeah.
Yes.
Again.
Big
that
talking
was-
point. Big talking point.
Very poor.
VAR. Again, I don't think VR checked that decision if I'm not wrong. I don't think
No,
VAR checked
no,
it.
they didn't. They
No,
didn't check
what
it.
the
They
hell
didn't
they-
check it.
Either they're sleeping or they've lost the plot. That
Exactly.
decision
Correct.
system is
I
madness.
just think there's nobody in the VAR chamber.
Exactly.
There's literally
I
nobody
think
in
he
the
went for
VAR
a cup of coffee or something. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
they
on.
just all went out for a break because they were like, this game is so boring, and I don't blame them.
Bro, he
was
was
really
hugging.
boring.
He was literally hugging him. Like,
Like, I
was a
feel.
top-
I wouldn't say hugging as
How-
much as assaulting.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
This
feel
is
like
exactly what he
Mac-
did to Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw must be watching this and be like PTSD. He's like, oh my god. Luke Shaw,
Yeah,
Luke
You
Shaw's
know-
probably calling up Cesar
Oh.
Azpilicueta and he's like, dude, I know the pain.
I feel like it was kind of a choke or something which Maguire was trying to
His
do.
hand was around his neck from behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Can, he
And how-
not, can that guy not defend like a civilized person? I don't
No,
understand.
No, I think the
what's
better
wrong with
question would be, can the guy not defend at all? Question
He's
mark. Can
so
you defend
bad.
Maguire?
him? He's so bad.
He's so
You
I don't know.
I think this is good for Fawaz. He didn't join this podcast
Oh no,
like
he
we
would
are.
have slated Maguire right here. He would
Yeah,
have
he
That
would
is
slated
also there.
Maguire. Anyways, quickly moving on. Even though the game was filled with stupid decisions and a pretty evenly drawn out game, if I may say so, it still ended 0-0 and probably a frustrating result for both set of fans. And
Mhm.
moving on to the fixtures played on Sunday, that is Liverpool versus Sheffield coming up first. And
I have so much to talk.
it's just this, like literally, every time I say something like it's gonna be a huge scoring game or something like that, Liverpool just doesn't like things coming easily to them.
Hmm.
For some reason, they want all of us to die of a heart attack until the final minutes of the game.
You guys
Oh,
won.
I know, but
But still,
what were we doing?
yes, that's
Like,
odd. They
trust
were
me.
leading or
Yeah,
something, I think.
Yeah, trust me, but that was a bullshit decision, if I may
But
say
I'll
so.
tell you,
Fabinho.
I'll tell you something.
Fabinho, yes.
We've been robbed by VAR again. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know why.
Yes.
The thing is, we were dominating the game in the first 5 minutes,
Yes.
and then the moment Sheffield got the goal, they started high pressing and they started getting that confidence, and they were
Yeah.
just putting pressure,
Mhm.
and that's when we couldn't, play the game that we usually do.
Mhm.
And that always happens. That always tends to happen against Liverpool.
But Firmino scored.
So
Oh my God.
yeah, talking point, Sirish. I told you this. If Firmino plays at cam, he plays way better than when he plays at striker.
Yes.
I think Mane. I think that was a miss.
Yeah.
Firmino
Mane
was
missed.
really lucky.
No, but the overall game, the way Firmino played.
Yeah.
He
As
played
cam,
well.
he plays way better than a
Yeah.
centre forward or a striker.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like
And Jota
this is
also.
a very
He also played well.
he did.
Jota too. He did
I
play
feel
well.
like no, like at some point I'm kind of really like disappointed in Jota for not making those big chances, because there was this one point in the game where he got a lot. He controlled the ball through the last defense. Like I think beat his man, got the ball. He had acres of empty space to run into,
Yeah,
and just one defender at the back. All he had to do was cut in, take a shot, play somebody in.
yeah.
He
Mhm.
just kept dribbling and dribbling and dribbling, and he ran straight into the defender and lost the ball. The header, brilliant. Positioning, brilliant. The leap was brilliant. Good goal. But I feel like when you're dribbling on your strong foot, when you can cut in and take a shot with your strong foot, why not just do that rather than
Mhm.
trying to? I don't know what he was even trying, but regardless, yeah, I feel like we can see him perform much better.
Hmm.
But again, VAR, Jesus Christ, how was that a penalty, man?
God.
That was not at all a penalty. I don't know for what reason they gave,
I
but
mean, at this point, if one of
it
our
is what
players,
it is.
if one of our players fell over in the opposition defense, like in the opposition D, they would get a penalty in our half.
I swear to God. I swear
It's
to God.
so
Right.
ridiculous. I mean, what? Like, fine, the referee couldn't possibly tell it because he was standing in front, and from that angle, it looks like it was a foul because Fabinho was behind the player. But that's why the VAR is in. You get those extra angles where you can see whether he
I think it
got the
was
ball or not.
debatable. It was very close because on the line, and Fabinho got the leg first. That's what the referee saw. So
See, that's my whole point is I think again with the VR thing, when you can actually see it from different angles, you can clearly see the ball
He got
actually
the
touched
ball.
him before he again made
Yeah,
the ball.
yeah.
It was rolling in front of the player, and regardless, I cannot be bothered to talk about VR anymore. I'm gonna pass away.
But another good thing I would like to say, Gomez, he played well. He played well. Like he improved. Just like Jota, I would say he also played well.
Swiftly moving on to the next fixture, Southampton versus Everton, and yes, come on, lads! I'm just kidding. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I am more concerned
Sure.
with our performance at the moment than
Sure.
theirs. No, I don't mind. Like even if they were winning, this was bound to happen. Everton.
No, I'm
possibly
so
can't
I'm
win the
so
league.
happy it's
Yeah, Everton.
Southampton.
Everton
No, I'm so
possibly
happy
can't
it's
win the league. They
Yeah.
can't. They just can't. They don't have the ability. And I think finally, the world will see Everton for what it is.
this is just a Liverpool podcast now.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Dude, I feel like Everton again. I don't know what happened there. Like I don't know what went wrong.
I feel like they missed out on Richarlison, who's a very key part of that Everton team.
Very integral. He's the one who
Very
presses on that
key.
left wing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
He's
James was brought in too quickly from his injury.
Yeah.
He pulled up short in the game, and then they had to play with 10 men, like 9 men, because they went to 10 men.
Exactly. And again, yeah, this is goes on to show that even Everton, despite being in such good form, can be hit by injury crisis. I mean,
Yeah, guys.
Why does he do that?
why do you open your mouth? Why? You can see
Yeah,
that
but-
we're talking. You can see that we're making a point. You can
I
hear
thought
us.
you were talking casually.
No way. But
Bro,
do you
I
think
didn't
we'll
hear
wait for you?
anything.
Okay,
Hey, we are
okay.
kidding.
I mean,
Like teams like Everton again, they realize that if you miss out key players due to injury, this is what tends to happen because majority of their goals have come from three players. That is James,
DCL.
Dinya, and in James, DCL, and Richarlison. And Dinya has been pretty good for them as well in terms of.
And he got
creating
sent
goals.
off, but he got sent off.
And he
yeah.
got sent off. And this is, I think, this is the tone for Everton for the rest of the season. They need to figure out how to deal with this. When you lose key players, how do you deal with it? Because you still have players like Bernard who are on the bench, Sigurdsson, and people who are usually not going to get to play the game. But when they do get the opportunity, they should probably capitalize on this. So probably a future prospect for Everton to improve. But credits to Southampton and Ralph Hasenhüttl. I mean, fought back against a 3-0. Fought back from 3-0 down against Chelsea last game week. And
Let's not go there. No. Southampton, Everton. We focus on this game.
Okay.
Credit to. Waterhouse was brilliant. Danny Ings with 2 assists, and then Shea Adams as well. He got a goal again. They're doing really well for what they have in their team, and I think the manager is brilliant. He's doing a great job.
Yeah. Again, another English striker turned assist provider, Danny Ings. And I don't know what is happening with these guys. Danny Ings, Harry Kane. Jesus Christ, man, calm down. What do you guys want to tell new record?
They're getting better when they're aging, like just like a wine, just like fine wine.
And Shea Adams again got onto the score sheet yet again. I think this could be his beginning to good form.
Yeah.
Just like Danny Ings. Maybe in a few game weeks we could see Shea Adams be just as integral to the Southampton team as Danny Ings is.
Yeah.
Rest of the team, I feel like Southampton can obviously have better players, like better quality, but regardless, I feel like Ralph Hasenhüttl is bringing the best out of what he has, and that's a good sign in any manager. I mean, Ralph Hasenhüttl is settling this Southampton side well.
Yeah.
Again, we saw this last season after that humiliating defeat to
Leicester.
And the way they turned it around, and again, it's happening again. Like, they didn't have the most brilliant starts, but again, Ralph Hasenhüttl is turning that team around. So hopefully we get to see a lot better, from them because they're capable of it. And speaking of that, I think there are two teams that are relatively frustrated with the next result, which is Wolves versus Newcastle United ending in a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I feel like the team that will be more frustrated is Wolves because they dominated the entire game. It was just, I feel like they'll be hard done by for conceding that goal.
Yeah.
That will late on, 89th minute if I'm not wrong.
And Newcastle have made this a habit of scoring late and crushing other teams' hopes. I mean, again, one of the major games that comes to mind when you talk about Newcastle is the one against Tottenham. Probably not a deserved point, but this was, I guess, again, this is more to do with Wolves not capitalizing on their chances.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, Wolves are also having a very disappointing start to the season. Not hit the mark, like not up to the mark. They've already had major losses against, against City. I mean, that's one game that you probably thought Wolves would win because of their form.
Against West Ham as well.
Against West Ham was much more pathetic. I was coming to that, but yeah, it was. I think the one positive they can take is Raul Jimenez again. When you need a goal, Raul Jimenez.
Great goals.
He's there. Yeah.
I removed him this game week. Just I removed him and replaced him with DCL. And my God, my FPL is pathetic this week.
I think this has been a very mixed bag.
Yes, exactly.
In terms of FPL, but yeah. Quickly moving on to the next fixture of the game week, which is Arsenal versus Leicester. And Cengiz Under gets his first assist.
Yeah, great goal as well.
I know, great goal as well. Jamie Vardy, the man can't stop scoring against Arsenal.
He loves to score against them.
Against Arsenal. Chat shit, get banged.
Exactly, correct.
The tagline. Yeah, I think Arsenal fans are really frustrated with this one because I've seen Arsenal fans complaining time and time again through the entire season that they keep attacking through the left side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the obsession is with the left side because Aubameyang is... You see Aubameyang as well. I said it in the preview as well. He wasn't doing great. This game again,
He's like a soggy bowl of cornflakes on the pitch now.
I don't know what he's doing. I just removed him from the FPL. I had him since the start, and then I just removed him. He's so bad. I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad player, but he's had a horrible start to the season.
The way he played last season and the way he started this season, completely
Horrible.
opposite stories. I mean,
Yeah, ever since he signed that new contract, it's going on like that only.
Yasser
And
said that.
And I even read a troll or something. I don't remember in Twitter only.
A what?
They term like troll. Man. Just shut your
we
mouth.
need subtitles when Hari talks.
Yeah. So this it was written like Lacazette, and it was like lack of ability or something. Pretty much sums up his performance this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, he missed a lot of
It was
chances.
very
He missed
offensive, but
a
it's
lot
true.
of chances.
Yes.
Lots.
It's
Yeah.
very very offensive, but it's kind of true. That's
I
it.
guess,
That's
yeah.
what he is doing.
And I guess we talk about Spurs being Spursy, but this was just Arsenal being Arsenal-y.
Arsenal.
This is
Yeah.
practically what they do. Just when you think things are looking up for Arsenal, they go ahead and lose.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
perform really badly. Or
Yeah, you can see there's a lack of creativity in the team because they have three deep lying centre mids for some reason. Partey and Ceballos. No one's picking up those in between the lines, those positions.
Mhm.
And they have Ozil sitting on. He's a Twitter. He's doing really well on
Oh my
Twitter.
God.
I mean,
Exactly.
I feel
I feel
absolutely.
so
I
bad
feel-
for.
Exactly. I agree with Hari. I was gonna say the exact same thing. I feel so bad for Ozil.
Exactly.
And Arteta playing 3 number 9s up front. I think we've all already seen the memes.
Yes.
Like it's goddamn FPL.
I think they furloughed them. They got them out as well.
Exactly, they got
55.
them out.
55.
And to see your team, follow up people and then go ahead and sign a player. What kind of-
45.
exactly.
Yeah.
What kind of a tone does that set? So yeah, pretty much. Don't know what's going on at Arsenal, and I'm not sure the fans are gonna like it either. And yeah,
Yes, too
swiftly
sad.
moving on to the next fixture, which is Brighton Hove Albion versus West Brom. And go ahead, Hari, fill us in with what do you think
I
happened
mean,
in that
I
game.
I watched the game like partially only, but still I felt it's very frustrating. It was very, very frustrating. Like I bought Neil Maupay for this FPL. Okay, I thought he will score something. He will score.
I
He
removed
didn't
for
score
Kane.
anything. And there was another player. I don't remember the name. He was being so selfish. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the names, but he was being so selfish. Like he's taking up the chances by on himself. He's not passing and he's not doing anything.
Trossard,
Like
was it?
No, I think it
Trossard,
was
yes, correct. Trossard. Yeah, Trossard only. He had 2-3 chances to put it up for Neil Maupay and he could have scored, but he's just not doing it. He's just going to going to do it by own self. He's like taking shots.
The first goal was very comical because Ivanovic hit it at Jake Livermore and it went in.
Yeah,
Oh
my
I've seen
God.
quite a few of those horrendous goals.
I thought like after that point when West Brom, they obviously are in a bad form. Like they, gave a own goal, and I thought like after that somebody will step up and score for Brighton, and it would be good for them. But again, very frustrating to watch. And in the end, West Brom scored and then equalized. I mean, they leveled up the game.
Yeah, Carlin
And
Grant scored, and
I thought like I expected something. I expected something out of Neil Maupay. Like I think at least one goal or a brace, but it didn't come up that well. And Lamptey, he's been playing good. He's doing good
really
playing.
good. Tarek
Yeah,
Lamptey.
he's being very. He's the. I think he's the only creative player in that team right
I think
now. I feel like that.
if Fawaz was
He's
here,
coming
he
up
would.
for.
If Fawaz was here, he would fanboy over Tarek Lamptey because since the start he's been
yeah,
saying
my God,
the
yeah.
man's impressed. The man's impressed.
Yeah.
The man's impressed, and I wouldn't blame him. Tarek Lamptey playing brilliantly,
brilliantly. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
showdown between Tarek Lamptey and Tyrek Mitchell last game week was
Oh,
something
wow.
to behold. Things
It was
got a little
amazing.
heated there. Yeah, things got a
Yeah.
little heated there, but
Yeah.
regardless, a good. thing to
They
watch.
say. Yeah, they say like Lamptey is coming up for Trent's position in England squad. I feel like
Mhm.
but time is there. But still, he's a good
It'll
player.
take
He's a
time,
good
sure.
player. He's a very
It'll
good
take
player.
time.
It's gonna
Yeah.
take time.
But he was very creative, and for that own goal also, I think he did something.
Because
I
I
think
think
Yeah, yeah.
regardless of
he was the one who put it. He was the one who put it in.
regardless of how other right backs play, I feel like there's a set order of how England's right backs are playing. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is the first choice, and
Mhm.
if not him, it's a close tie between Kyle Walker and Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Aaron
Reece
Wan-Bissaka.
James.
Yeah, that's right.
Reece James.
Reece James probably ranks
No,
third. But
I
at
would
this
think
point,
Reece
after
James.
watching Kyle Walker's form, I think he's dropped.
I think Reece
massively
James.
down.
Yeah.
Reece James is the
Reece James
He's
has
the
been
better
really
one.
good as well. So I think he's one up the pecking order behind Arnold. I feel.
And yeah, I think that
Yeah.
brings us to the last game week. I mean, last match of the game week. My bad. That is Burnley versus Tottenham, and I think we're not going to see Burnley in the Premier League next season.
I
The
don't.
way they're
Yeah.
playing,
No, they were playing very bad. They've been playing very, very bad.
yeah.
But good thing for Tottenham. Again, the
Yeah,
Son and Harry
the
link
Son
up.
and
It's
Harry
so
Kane
good.
connection.
But I feel
So
like
good.
but Spurs should be worried. The only reason why I would say that is they were lucky that Kane cleared that that shot off the goal line,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then later he only nodded in Lamella's cross for Son to score. I
Yeah.
mean, coming from the 3-3 draw against West Ham where they screwed up a 3-0 lead, it's a good.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a good way to come back from losing. I mean, drawing 3-0, losing a 3-0 lead. But then I still feel like they could have done better, especially against Burnley, who've been struggling. I feel like they could have performed a bit better or scored a bit more,
Mm.
especially.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
always
Exactly.
difficult to play against
But
Burnley
I
because
think
the way they set
Mourinho
up.
can be.
I'm saying Burnley, the way they set up, it's always a difficult game against them. And I saw a stat which said they're only behind Son and Kane. They have 29 goal contributions, I think. That's only behind
Lampard and Drogba.
Lampard and Drogba, 36 goal contributions in the Prem. So I have to bring Chelsea in, obviously, but great for Spurs.
Yeah,
Great
I
for
mean,
was amazing.
yeah, again, like you said, I feel like I agree with both Shashik and Yasser. I have kind of mixed opinions. Tottenham should have done much better against a very, very, very weak Burnley side. But again, like Burnley set up one of the most physical teams you can ever play.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking like, in-game physical. They are physical needlessly. They are the set of football players who would break and injure your players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Oh
hate
my
the
God.
fact that VR has come in because they like to punch players off the camera and get away with it. But now they have to be a bit more careful.
I know.
So they have to be on the guard and
No more
Yeah.
harassing goalkeepers during corners. No more pushing them off the ball. No more not letting them claim the ball. None of that. No more breaking the players' legs when people are not watching. None of that. And I feel like that's for the better of all the other teams in
Yeah.
England by far. And Burnley, God
Nah, they're
help
not
you.
staying up. I don't think they're staying up.
Yeah,
this
God
season.
help you. Anyways, guys, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you did like this video, please make sure to leave a like on this video, and also subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification icon so that you get notified every time we upload. And we've started a new segment where we do UCL previews and reviews now. So make sure our review for match, group stage game 1 of UCL is out now on IGTV. So please go ahead and follow us on our Instagram, which is @pretentiouspundits. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
See you guys.
see you guys.
Bye, guys.